Chapter 256 Conspiracy. When the Yan clan ancestor heard the Confucian scholar ask only the crucial points, he couldn't help revealing an expression of admiration and surprise. He then replied, "Great blood spirit arts. Although our late Yan clan ancestors did not carry this cultivation art, this letter seems to think extremely highly of this cultivation art, praising it as the #1 devil art of the Thousand Spirit Sutras. After refining it, one could even take a leading role in the 6 sects of the Devil Tao. It could also be said to be one of the most fearsome secret techniques. However, this technique is far too overbearing. In order to prevent any accidental harm, a man and a woman must pair cultivate it. It is also extremely important that their spiritual roots be of sufficient quality. If they are not, then it can only be cultivated to the 2nd or 3rd layer at the very most, simply nothing worthy of note. Thus, if one had captivating heavenly spiritual roots, they would absolutely become an ideal partner for pair cultivation. This young master of the ghost spirit sect happens to have extremely rare dark spirit roots, an ideal partner for cultivating the great blood spirit arts. If he and his partner had ideal peak aptitudes and truly cultivated the great blood spirit arts, they could cultivate this art to its very deepest and be put at the forefront of the 6 sects. As a result, this ghost spirit sect did not hesitate to rope us in, even risking telling us information on the eve of the invasion of the state of Yue to secure the opportunity for the ghost spirit sect to be proclaimed hegemon of the entire heavenly south region. As for how they knew of the history of the Yan clan, there is an even better explanation. Before our ancestors passed away, they already established contact with the ghost spirit sect. I suppose it was at that time that our Yan clan was brought to their attention. As for Yaner, it's likely they have conspired for quite some time, all in order to take advantage of this golden opportunity and have our Yan clan agree to this matter with both incentive and force. After the Yan clan ancestor said this, he bitterly smiled. It was clear that their late ancestors' rash contact with the ghost spirit sect had left them without much choice. Also, on the matter of the invasion of the 6 Devil Tao sects, they were the ones who told me. But as for the seizure of the states of Jiang and Cheji, our Yan clan noticed something amiss several days before their arrival. The men we have stationed in those 2 countries should have sent us regularly scheduled information by now, but we have yet to receive any message. This should verify their story. As for how they easily seized the 2 countries? According to their explanation, the 6 sects had already bribed many members of the 2 countries' sects and clans in advance. As a result, with an ambush of formidable strength and the aid of several traders, the 2 countries fell in one blow. Right now, the 6 sects should be purging the remnants who refused to pay allegiance. As for using us to prepare for the invasion of the state of Yue, this is naturally to avoid taking greater losses. As for the righteous Tao alliance in the state of Fengdu, you can't hope to count on them. Not long before this meeting, I received information that the righteous Tao alliance had already invaded a neighboring mid-class country and nearly seized all of it. It seems certain that these 2 great powers already made a deal under the table and have thus started their large-scale expansion operations. The Yan clan ancestor clearly listed explanations one after another. Those who heard this were shocked. The devil and righteous Tao have simultaneously started to expand their influence. If this is true, it is rather amusing. After the Confucian scholar listened to the Yan clan ancestors' answers, he said a few thought-provoking words with a smile. "Xuanyi, what meaning do your words carry?" A white-haired Confucian scholar sitting across from him impatiently asked. "Second uncle. It is nothing, merely a guess of mine. This guess has nothing to do with our Yan clan. Let's talk about the situation of our Yan clan first." The Confucian scholar responded, shaking his head and waving it off as he wished. "Humph." The old man was met with a tactful rejection and resentfully glared at the Confucian scholar. But in front of the Yan clan ancestor, he could only angrily sit back down. "Whoa. After this meeting, can I hear this small guess of yours?" The Yan clan ancestor asked with some interest. "If venerable ancestor wishes to hear, Xuanyu naturally won't hide it from you. When the Confucian scholar saw this, he hastily bowed and respectfully replied, "Good. However, let's first talk about the matter before us. If we were to make a wrong choice about this, it's not a matter of not being annexed, it's a matter of offending them and enduring a clan extermination under the combined might of the six sects." A trace of helplessness was revealed in the red-haired elder's words. After all, while the Yan clan's power wasn't too weak, even with the addition of their hidden strength, they wouldn't be able to put up the slightest resistance. Venerable Ancestor is correct. Currently, the Yan clan must fear both ends. If we agree, they might take the opportunity to swallow us whole. If we refuse, then their strength will be far too great and will bring upon us endless trouble. The Confucian scholar wore an expression of contemplation. Even so, my opinion is that we should still agree to their conditions, and enter the Ghost Spirit sect. The Confucian scholar eventually gave a firm answer. Without waiting for the slightest of opposition from the Yan clan, he continued, "Everyone has thought about it from the very start. If we refuse their conditions, what sort of fearsome consequences would occur? But did everyone think about whether we could extort enough benefits out of the seven sects by refusing the Ghost Spirit sect? To the best of my knowledge, it seems we currently have good relations with the seven sects. But secretly, they are scared that the power of our Yan clan will further grow and threaten their interests. Thus in the recent years, they have already indistinctly suppressed us in all areas. Even if we don't agree to the Ghost Spirit sect's conditions and leak the information of the Devil Dao invasion to the seven sects, it is quite possible we wouldn't be able to fish for any advantages. After all, the resources of the state of Yue have long been divided between the seven sects. How could they spit out things for our Yan clan? Furthermore, during the six sects invasion of the state of Yue, even if the seven sects of the state of Yue were able to acquire the assistance of cultivators from other countries to resist the Devil Dao, their chances of victory aren't very high. Clinging to victory is our Yan clan's path to survival. After all, the loser would be incapable of honoring its promise. Equivalently, agreeing to the Ghost Spirit sect doesn't come with just harm. We should also be aware of the benefits. Setting aside the benefits of Yaner learning the Great Blood Spirit arts and the position as Deputy Sect Master, becoming a member of the Ghost Spirit sect is a golden opportunity to expand the influence of the Devil Dao. As such, after the Yan clan joins with them, we will be able to openly and brazenly expand our influence as well. Of course, we must be careful so we aren't considered weapons by the Ghost Spirit sect and consume our manpower in vain. As long as we can expand the power of the Yan clan until we can reach equal footing with the Ghost Spirit sect, they will naturally be unable to annex us. If our power becomes far greater than their own, then perhaps we may have the Ghost Spirit sect be named Yan. The Confucian scholar said all of this frankly and with confidence, describing the prospect of a beautiful future and rousing the spirits of quite a few people. Naturally there were a few old men who still felt incomparably uneasy. After all, how could the Ghost Spirit sect have any good intentions towards them and sincerely give them the time to gradually strengthen themselves? However, the Confucian scholar's next words wiped away their doubts. Naturally, we can't leave ourselves too vulnerable. We don't have a single means of restricting them. If the other party truly wanted to have us submit to them, then let's have that young sect master and the two core formation cultivators accompanying him along with Ruyan and two elders exchange a life and death curse. Thus, they wouldn't be able to harm our Yan clan for at least 200 to 300 years. During this time, our Yan clan will be able to greatly expand its influence. If the Ghost Spirit sect doesn't agree to this measure, then we fundamentally cannot rely on the other party's goodwill. This would prove all of your previous doubts, that this was merely a trap for our Yan clan. The Confucian scholar provided a method to authenticate the other side's sincerity. The ancestor and others who listened repeatedly nodded their heads. They felt this method was very reliable. Yaner, Yan Wen, Yan Ji. All of you go to the Ghost Spirit sect's guest room and sign a life and death contract with them. If they do not agree, Immediately activate the Great Formation inside the hall and trap them there. After the Yan clan ancestor closed his eyes to think for a moment, he opened his eyes and gave his command. "We follow your orders, venerable ancestor." The young girl next to the Yan clan ancestor sweetly smiled and gracefully walked to the front of the hall, accepting her orders. She was accompanied by two middle-aged men. "Yaner, be careful. If something is amiss, you should first escape. I will arrange for elders to provide support from outside the hall." The Yan clan ancestor clearly doted in this young Yan clan girl, so much so that great concern was shown on his face. "Be at ease, venerable ancestor. I have the protection of the violet cloud flag, so I'll definite escape should any danger show up." The young woman adorably comforted him and walked out of the hall with the two middle-aged men. As the old red-haired man saw his most favored female descendant walk out, he still felt uneasy. Then, without taking the time to think, he issued a series of commands and laid out an inescapable net surrounding the guest hall in order to rescue Ruyan if needed and prevent the other party from escaping. Inside the official hall, there was a tranquil atmosphere. All those within were waiting with anxiety for the return of Ruyan and the other two. After the time it took an incense stick to burn, a voice transmission talisman suddenly flew into the official hall and headed directly toward the Yan clan ancestor's hand. The ancestor lightly pinched the sound transmission talisman, and Yan Ruyan's sweet voice was heard. "Venerable ancestor, the matter has concluded. The other party agreed to the contract that the two senior martial uncles and I proposed. The life and death contract was performed smoothly. I am currently keeping the other party company in the main hall. Because the other party still wishes to further speak to Venerable Ancestor, I request that Venerable Ancestor prepare." When the Yan clan ancestor and other Yan clan members heard that the life and death contract was successful, they all let out a sigh of relief. But when they heard that the other party wished to come to the main hall, everyone stared. "Everyone is immediately dismissed. Only Xuanyi will remain here with me." The Yan clan ancestor muttered to himself for a moment before firmly giving his command. At his command, the various elders and stewards within the hall immediately dispersed.